वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ परा।
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. శంకర నేత్రాలయ వ్యవస్థాపక అధ్యక్షులైన శ్రీ ఎస్ఎస్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారి ఆకస్మిక మరణం మనందరినీ ఎంతగానో కలిచివేసింది. స్వల్ప వ్యవధిలో ఈ సంస్మరణ కార్యక్రమానికి విచ్చేసిన మీ అందరికీ నా ధన్యవాదాలు. డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారు ఎంతో ఆదర్శప్రాయమైన ధార్మిక జీవితాన్ని గడిపి ఈ ప్రపంచంలో తనదైన ముద్రను వేసిన అరుదైన వ్యక్తి. అకుంఠిత దీక్ష, ఆత్మస్థైర్యం, నిరంతర కృషి, సాహసం వంటి మూలస్తంభాలపై శంకర నేత్రాలయ అనే పవిత్ర దేవాలయాన్ని నిర్మించిన ధన్యశీలి. అందుకే ఎంతోమంది హృదయాలలో సుస్థిర స్థానం వేసుకున్న చిరస్మరణీయులు శ్రీ ఎస్ఎస్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారు. డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ తన యావత్ జీవితాన్ని సమాజ సేవకు అంకితం చేసి ఎంతోమంది అభాగ్యుల జీవితాలలో కంటి చూపు ద్వారా వెలుగు నింపిన తేజమూర్తి. కంటి చూపు, పరిశోధన వంటి రంగాలలో శంకర నేత్రాలయ ద్వారా ఆయన చేసిన కృషి భారతదేశాన్ని ప్రపంచ కంటి వైద్య చికిత్సా పటంపై అగ్రస్థానంలో నిలబెట్టింది అనడంలో ఎంత మాత్రమో అతిశయోక్తి లేదు. అటువంటి మహనీయుని సేవలను గుర్తు చేసుకుంటూ ఆయన వేసిన బాటలో పయనించి ఆయన ఆశయాలను మరింత ముందుకు తీసుకువెళ్ళడమే మనమిచ్చే నిజమైనటువంటి నివాళి. ఈనాటి సంస్మరణ కార్యక్రమాన్ని శంకర నేత్రాలయ యుఎస్ఏ అధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారిని నిర్వహించవలసిందిగా కోరుచున్నాను. నమస్కారం.
Thank you, Shyam Garu. Thank you. And today, it's a very sad day for Shankara Netralaya, and it's very untimely death of our founder, Padma Bhushan awardee, Dr. Sengamedu Srinivasa Badrinath. He is the one, who started with the blessings of Sri Kanchikama Kotipitadipati, this institution in 1978. And because of him, we all got the chance to serve the indigent blind patients across the world, mainly in India. And after Badriji started in 1978, then 10 years later, our Shankara Netralaya USA founder Sri S.V. Acharya ji started in USA in 1988. So it's a 45-year-old institution. We have received all the best awards for our hospital, our staff, and our service. So all the credit goes to one and only Dr. Badrinath. It's very, very sad that, we lost him. Today I see in the internet, social media, all the TV channels are covering the loss of the great philanthropist. Even I see the messages from in the Twitter from the Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, and Home Minister Sri Amit Shah, and Chief Minister Stalin, Mamata Banerjee, governors, Tamil Sai, and so many celebrities. If I go on giving the names, it goes all the night. Munduga, Dr. G. Satish Reddy, సైంటిఫిక్ అడ్వైజర్ టు రక్షా మంత్రి, ఈరోజు మన బద్రీనాథ్ గారికి కండోలెన్సెస్ అందజేయడానికి ఢిల్లీ నుంచి జాయిన్ అయినారు. సతీష్ గారు, ప్లీజ్ గో హెడ్.
I am deeply saddened with the demise of Sri S.S. Badrinath ji. It's a great loss for the society and the nation. He is a philanthropist who thought about millions of people and their ophthalmology problems and tried to find a solution by providing free medical aids, surgeries and treatments. Also, he has established mechanisms to train skilled people in this area in a large number. He is a visionary who thought about the society and the particular ophthalmology area and created Shankar Netralaya, through which thousands and thousands got benefited. He is a role model for all the people in the country who should take up such activities and create mechanisms to serve the society and the people who are needy. In fact, personally, me being associated with the Shankar Netralaya and also having got opportunity to have the eye camps of Shankar Netralaya in my own native area, almost more than 500 people got eye surgeries done through Shankar Netralaya. All that is because of Shri Badrinathji. It's a great loss. We all should try to follow the path of Badrinathji and treat millions, and that's the way we can pay tributes to Shri Badrinathji. May his soul rest in peace in heavens.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సతీష్ గారు. ఈరోజు మరి ఒక విశిష్ట అతిథి శంకర నేత్రాలయ చైర్మన్ డాక్టర్ సురేంద్రన్ గారికి డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారికి 46 ఏళ్ల అనుబంధము. వీళ్ళిద్దరు జర్నీ ఒక దాదాపు 5 దశాబ్దాలు నడిచిందంటే బద్రీనాథ్ గారి గురించి బాగా తెలిసిన వాళ్ళల్లో మనతో ఉన్నది ఈరోజు సురేంద్రన్ గారు. తను తన మాటల్లో తనకి బద్రీనాథ్ గారితో ఉన్న అనుబంధం, తన జర్నీ శంకర నేత్రాలయాలు ఎలా జరిగింది, బద్రీనాథ్ గారి యొక్క సర్వీస్ గురించి కానీ, ఫిలాంథ్రపీ గురించి కానీ, తర్వాత కేరింగ్ కోవర్కర్స్ అండ్ సర్వీస్ టు ఇండిజెంట్ బ్లైండ్ పేషెంట్స్, ఇవన్నీ గురించి చెప్పడానికి సురేంద్రన్ గారు చెన్నై నుంచి జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. నేను సురేంద్రన్ గారిని ఒకసారి రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను.
My dear USSN Trust friends, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for joining us today as we pay tribute to the life of Dr. Badrinath. During this solemn moment, I want to acknowledge his contributions to ophthalmology and to the needy, and the visionary leader, the memories we created and the conversations we created for these 46 years will always remain in my heart. Dr. contributions to the ophthalmology by Dr. Badrinath is supreme. His accolades include Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Living Legend Award by NDTV, BC Roy Award, etc. His impact in Shankar Netralaya is immeasurable. His leadership laid the foundation for an institution committed for making eye care to everyone. I condole to the family, Mrs. Vasanthi Badrinath, Sesha Prasad and Anant Badrinath, and pay respects to all pay respects on behalf of all his well-wishers. May his soul rest in peace. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Surendran, for joining from Chennai. Dr. Girish Rao, so he joined from India. We request Dr. Girish Rao say a few words about Dr. Badrinath and his association.
Good evening. On behalf of Shankar Netralaya family and Dr. Badrinath family, a deep sense of gratitude and thanks for sharing our grief here. Dr. Badrinath belonged to the world, to India and to ophthalmology. So we always take pride that he was a part of us, or rather we were a part of him. But he truly belonged. He was a global leader and he was a person par excellence. But he started at a very humble beginning. He lost his parents when he was very young, and with a lot of perseverance and determination, he struggled through his education and did his graduation with some of the insurance monies that his father had, and did his MBBS from Madras Medical College. And in those days, in the 60s, he took the bold decision of moving to US without any major support. But he was a destiny's child. So he was mentored by Dr. Charles Keeple at the Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary. And Dr. Keeple is considered father of modern day vitreoretinal surgery. And at that time, Dr. Badrinath had made a promise to Dr. Keeple that post his training, he will return back to India to serve the people here. And he did keep up his promise and came back to India in 1970. But his initial years were a struggle. Obviously, India didn't have anything very significant in ophthalmology, leave alone the techniques that were practiced in the US then. And there were times when he was contemplating going back to the US so that he could practice what he was taught. But as luck would happen, he ended up operating on Mahaparivar Chandrasekhar Saraswati Swamigal in 1974. And the following year, Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal persuaded him to start the hospital for the benefit of people. And what subsequently followed was something which was path-breaking for the country, because what he did for ophthalmology, he could have easily set up his private practice and probably flourished. Because of the blessings of Mahaparivar, a lot of philanthropists and like-minded people joined him in his journey. And that's how Medical Research Foundation Trust was formed. And as they say, rest is history. He grew from strength to strength purely because of his own ability. I think he is a hero for all of us, a larger than life hero. And a testimony of that is the various awards that he won, hundreds of them, but I would like to name only 3 of them. In 93, he got the Padma Shri Award. Subsequently, he also got the B.C. Roy Award, which is the highest award by the All India Ophthalmic Society of India, and the Padma Bhushan in 1988. And if I were to say that if there is one person who deserves a Bharat Ratna, that would be him. So I hope the Indian government and the concerned people would definitely consider him, because he is the father of ophthalmology in India. Not only in India, his beneficiaries are almost all over the southeast of Asia. So on behalf of Shankar Netralaya, I once again thank the SN USA and especially S.V. Acharya ji and Bala Induti ji for the unstinted support, sending in billions of dollars year after year without any questions asked, having full faith in our system that each and every dollar would be used for the benefit of the indigent patients. So once again, a sincere thanks and gratitude from the bottom of our heart. Let's all join our hands together and continue to work on the path shown by him, and I think that would be the biggest tribute that we can do for this godlike figure. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Girish Rao. And I request our Shankar Netralaya USA founder, Sri S.V. Acharya ji, and Mrs. Nirmala ji, because of them, we all got the chance to serve this organization. I request Acharya ji first, say a few words.
Thanks, Bala. Today is one of the sad days for all of us. About 4 days ago, I talked to Dr. Vasanti just to inquire about his well-being. She was not that optimistic, but I did not know that it will happen right within 3-4 days. I'll get such a bad news. Looking back at Dr. Badri's life, he came for his higher education here and got MD and retinopathy. Then, of course, we went back to home country to serve our motherland. That's the biggest sacrifice. While he had a lot of option to earn millions and millions here, but he chose to go back. Again, after attending Kanchi Swamiji's speech, I was impressed that we should do some service for the poor people with the missionary spirit. That's really impressive. That's how we started this organization in 1978. And the whole objective he had was provide free service to the poor and affordable price to others. That's the only objective he had. Then, of course, with so many innovative things he did, often research, education, camps, Mesu camps, everything was doing. I should say that I've been very fortunate to involve in this organization. In 1987, probably some of you know how I got involved in this organization. My father had a serious eye infection. I took him to Netralaya. Then Dr. Badri checked him, then said that we need to kind of give an injection to the eye and kill that one eye, so he'll only be able to live with one eye rest of his life, which was very sad. My father lives in a small village and he cannot keep on coming for treatment every time. I was sad too, but that gave him sight in one eye for the rest of his life, but gave thousands of eyes for other people in the world. Dr. Badri talked to me and said at the end, can you, I have some friends in US, can you talk to them, start an organization? I came here, talked to several people, nothing whole lot happened. Within 6 months, Dr. Badri and Dr. Vasanti came to my office in DC and told me, Mr. Acharya, can you please take upon yourself and do this, start the organization? Then I did not quite know what I'm getting into or what I'm going to do. I said, okay. Within 6 months, June of 1988, we started this organization. And by God's grace, with all the support from all of you, the trustees, the donors, well-wishers, volunteers, we are today a big organization under Bala's leadership. Cheshuji brought Bala to the organization, and you're all made major contribution in terms of money, time, and effort. So I really want to thank all of you. And few of the things I observed or characteristics I noticed and my experience with Dr. Badri, I would like to narrate now. He's one of the most disciplinarian person. When I first time sat in the waiting room in 1987, and just like any other place, there are a lot of kind of not so much discipline there. Then I saw a young, tall man come out and tell the receptionist, can you please tell everybody to sit down and be disciplined? Then, of course, he was Dr. Badri. He was 47 years that time. Then it was very impressive that time. Also in terms of, I had to deal with him a number of occasions. Anytime I have an issue and I tell him, Mr. Acharya, I'll get back in 48 hours. That is unless you tell me. Then within 48 hours, he'll come up with an answer for me. That is highly disciplined person. Also, is one of the most focused person that I have come across. When he came to DC a number of times, he stayed with us. And anytime if I say, can I take you around to show Washington, DC? There's Capitol, there is White House, there's so many museums, whatnot. He's not interested. Only asked me to take to where these institutions are, NIH or donors. These are the people you want to meet. His focus is very, very clear. He wanted what needed for his purpose of life is to help poor people. and sacrifice is another characteristics he had. He worked a lot of hours and treated a lot of lower staff with the great degree of respect. I have seen that, the drivers or anybody is there, very kind and very gentle for everybody. Also, he was very humble person. Whenever we go out of due respect, we touch his feet. Then what to do is raise our hand and put on his head, meaning, don't touch my feet, bless me. This is the message he used to give. That's very, very impressive for me. And also, because of the high quality of ophthalmic knowledge they had, Satya Sai Baba called him and requested him to establish an ophthalmic division in the Puttaparthi Hospital. And that's a great honor, great respect for the organization, great contribution by Shankar Nethralaya, especially by Dr. Badri. Talks about the professional expertise Dr. Badri had. And also now, probably you all may be knowing, we will be soon be establishing our own MESU unit in Puttaparthi by donation by mega donor Anand Dasari and Shankar Nethralaya USA. And also, he had a broad outlook about issues. As you all know, there's Shankar Nethralaya, also there's Shankara Eye Foundation. And number of times people come and tell him that, look, money meant for Shankar Nethralaya, some of the money has gone there. Then his approach is, it's not so good. But the point is, they're also doing a lot of service for poor people. So he was very, very compassionate in this aspect, saying, it's okay if the money goes there, they're also doing good work. Let us be appreciative of that. And humility is another characteristics I have seen in him. Anytime he seeks a donation, he'll go in a head down with the appeal letters and just requesting the person. Then people look at that, and normally our donors are such, they want to digest the information and make an assessment of the organization and decide how the funds are spent. And once they have a good idea, they are repeat donors. That's what we have. End of year, we get so many checks just because the high reputation of Shankar Nethralaya under Dr. Badri's leadership, and that he has maintained. And I have been in this for 36 years now. He has been a mentor for me, guru, and I'm very, very grateful that divine gift of Dr. Badri requesting me to start this organization with all of your support. You have done very well, and you hope to continue to do the same thing. Millions of people have benefited from Shankar Nethralaya. Let's continue this journey that Dr. Badri started 5 decades ago. And thank you very much. May great Lord rest his soul in peace. Bala.
Thank you, Acharyaji. Nirmalaji, please go ahead.
Well, for me, Dr. Badri and Vasanti Badri were like family. And I got to know them in a more personal level while my husband was doing all the professional fundraising. We were always talking to each other, brainstorming ideas, family issues, everything we could discuss. And Dr. Badri made quite an impact on my life. Like the saying goes, he did the ordinary things in a very extraordinary way. His simple things he did. He never ever sat in a glory that he's this big physician that's getting all the awards and all. For us, he was simply like a brother. His caringness was and thoughtfulness. Every time I went to India, I would just give him a call to say hello. I would go to India to visit my mother for her surgery, and the last few years of her life, she was getting sick often. and I would be visiting India quite often. And every time I made calls, I don't know how he found time. He would make it possible for me to come and attend to all the events that were going on in Netralaya. And that time, my husband and I were Shankar Netralaya in USA, struggling and finding our ways to do fundraising. To him, I was synonymous with my husband. So when he had Vijay Anand, the chess player, fundraising event, he would just introduce me to the audience and say, here's from Om Trust, and I have to talk. And, he never ever made you feel like, oh, you're not part of this or things like that. He always made everybody empowered. That was his greatness. He was so humble. Whenever he stayed with us, he would get to the children's level, play with them Jenga, and ask my son, where do you want to go to eat? Mexican, right? You like Mexican? And Dr. Badri was also a foodie. He loved eating. They both enjoyed going out to eat. Simple things like that. We never felt he was somebody out of the ordinary. He made you feel so humble. Both my sons, they always adored him. My younger son, Prasad, also volunteered at Shankar Netralaya. And for a large part, I think he was the reason my son went into the medical field. And we are very grateful. We always had so many events that we participated with him, so many times when he came here. In India, they had a trip for the Shankar Netralaya staff. They would invite, and we had gone to a Tirupati event in the bus. And we were all getting down, and he was taking my luggage. And I said, Dr. Badri, please. And he's like, no, get down, I'll take your luggage. And he's walking with my luggage. And I'm like, you can't do this, and he never ever. The one feeling I always have is I used to say, oh, I went to India to take care of my mother, like I did it. And he would say, you're so blessed, you got the opportunity. It made me think, we all get these opportunities, it's a blessing. And this blessing, for so many years, knowing Dr. Badri and his wife, has made a big impact, changed our outlook. We try to emulate what they do. So for both my husband, my family, it's a big loss. We keep in touch with them every few weeks. We talk on the phone, and every time we went, even the last time we went, we took pictures, we sat with him. He knows we are somebody close, but it was sad he couldn't remember. So he's in a happier place. He's watching all of us from there. He will make Shankar Netralaya go one big place more higher, from blessing us from above, I'm sure. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. For me, he's more like a brother, and his wife like a sister. So my feelings are more personal than others in this group, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmalaji. తర్వాత మన శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ యుఎస్ఏ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వైజర్, పద్మభూషణ్ అవార్డీ డాక్టర్ జగదీష్ షేత్ జాయిన్ ఫ్రమ్ అట్లాంటా. Dr. Sheth, please.
On November 21, 2023, India lost a great visionary. Dr. S.S. Badrinath was not only a distinguished scientist, but also a great humanitarian. As a scientist, he published more than 60 refereed academic papers, started winning all the awards in the world, and made India proud. But equally important, if not more, he was a true humanitarian. He saw the plight of the underprivileged people in India, especially about their eye care and vision, and wanted to do something by going back to India, despite a great career in the United States. After going back, he started Sankar Netralaya, but the key element there was not only just to serve the poor, but also to generate next generation of scientists and doctors. As a teaching hospital, he did phenomenally well in creating empathy among people who serve the poor, who serve the people who have eye care problems, vision, and very much into more advanced technologies and more advanced procedures. As a humanitarian, he had the compassion. He had the understanding of what makes people suffer. And he wanted to do something. There is nothing better than Sankar Netralaya as a teaching hospital institution, generating countless healthcare providers specializing in eye care or in ophthalmology, but more importantly, creating a passion to serve in your occupation, having a purpose and meaning in life above and beyond just making money or having a nice life. I think we will miss him forever. Well, he is a great living legend, and his legacy will continue forever. Above all, he was a nation builder. He wanted to make sure that India has access to the world-class technologies, world-class scientists, world-class anything. And as a nation builder, he was a true national hero. We'll miss him forever. It's unfortunate that even though I grew up in Chennai, and I also went to Loyola College, I did not have the privilege to meet him. I was looking forward to meeting him very soon, actually, in my next visit to India, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Again, I'm so sad to hear so early death of Dr. S.S. Badrinath. My prayers and condolences to the family and the trust and the foundation.
Thank you, Dr. Jagdishit. I request our Sankar Netralaya USA advisor, Dr. Raj Modi. He joined from New York. Say a few words about his association with Dr. Badrinath.
Namaste. Thank you very much. I am sorry I joined late. Dr. Badri was one of the biggest person or biggest retinal surgeon in India since 1978-79, since he went to India, leaving America. His name was very popular. Even today, as of today, somebody called me from India and he said, I want to see Dr. Badri. I said, no, he is no longer there. He has not been practicing. His name is very famous. To quickly summarize, in 1982, I went to India. My mother had some retinal problem. I came and asked my professor here that I want to bring my mother here. He said, no, take him to Dr. Badri. He is in Shankar Netralaya. Since then, I have been associated, since 1982, I've been associated with Dr. Badri. He has come to our house for a couple of fundraisers. He is gentleman, thorough gentleman, excellent surgeon, great researcher, and extremely philanthropic person. I wish I could be 10%, 5% of on his footsteps. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk.
Thank you, Dr. Modi ji. Tarvata guest ma ఇంతకుముందు అట్లాంటాలో ఉండేవారు డాక్టర్ శేష్ శర్మ గారు. శేష్ శర్మ గారు లైక్ ఆచార్యజీ ఎట్లయితే యుఎస్ఏ చాప్టర్ స్టార్ట్ చేశారు 15 years బ్యాక్, శేష్ గారు అట్లాంటా చాప్టర్ స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ శేషుజీ వీఆర్ ఆల్ ఏబుల్ టు వర్క్ ఫర్ శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ. వీఆర్ ఎవరైనా Atlanta chapter is the strongest and the best chapter, growing leaps and bounds, and all the credit goes to her. She is an amazing personality. She's a fighter, she's a great philanthropist, and she speaks from the heart. And she broke so many records in wherever she worked in the community service, whether it's refugees from the Bhutanese or in the Hindu Temple of Atlanta or wherever. And today she joined with us. I request Seshiji say a few words with her association to Netralaya and Dr. Badrinath. Ishgaru.
Thank you, Bala. Thank you for your kind words. Namaste, Acharya ji and Nirmala ji. It is a sad day today. But thinking about it, we all know Dr. Badri is a blessed soul, because very few people have the ability and the willpower and the grits to change the lives of millions and millions of people, and he did. And he's one of a kind in many ways. And we all are very fortunate to have known him and worked with him. And we cherish his legacy. And I think it's important we celebrate his life. I think, as much as we feel his loss, we need to celebrate his life, because he is unique in many ways and one of a kind. And I offer, and my sincere prayers are with Dr. Vasanthi and her family. And I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to express my feelings about Dr. Badri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sesh garu. తర్వాత మా అట్లాంటా నుంచి వైస్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ మూర్తి రేఖపల్లి గారు. మూర్తి గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి అందరికి. ఇవాళ శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఫ్యామిలీకి అంతా ఒక సాడ్ డే. ఫౌండర్ ఎస్ఎస్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారు కాలం చేశారు. ఆయన 45 ఏళ్ల కిందట శంకర్ నేత్రాలయాన్ని స్థాపించి దేశానికి ఎంతో సేవ చేశారు. ఆయన మూలంగా కొన్ని లక్షల మందికి చూపు వచ్చింది. అలానే 35 ఏళ్ల కిందట ఆచార్య గారు శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ యుఎస్ఏ స్థాపించారు. ఆ సంస్థ ద్వారా మాకు సేవ చేసే అవకాశం కల్పించారు. డాక్టర్ శేషు శర్మ గారు అట్లాంటాలో చాప్టర్ స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. మా కరెంట్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ బాలారెడ్డి ఇందుర్తి గారు నిజంగా బద్రీనాథ్ గారి డ్రీమ్ని రియలైజ్ చేయడానికి చాలా ఫండ్స్ రేజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, మొమెంటం జనరేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఆయన ఆత్మకి శాంతి చేకూరాలని ప్రార్థిస్తున్నాం. ఇండియాలో శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ స్టాఫ్ డాక్టర్ గిరీష్ రావు గారికి, సురేంద్రన్ గారికి అందరికీ మా ధన్యవాదాలు ఫర్ డూయింగ్ గ్రేట్ సర్వీస్ టు ద కంట్రీ. భారతరత్న మాజీ ప్రెసిడెంట్ అబ్దుల్ కలాం గారి దగ్గర నుంచి పద్మవిభూషణ్, నాని పాల్కీవాలా వారు, అమితాబ్ బచ్చన్ గారు, రజనీకాంత్ గారు ఎంతో మంది శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ గురించి ఎండోర్స్ చేశారు. ఆయన నిజంగానే డాక్టర్ గిరీష్ రావు గారు చెప్పినట్టు భారతరత్న ఇవ్వదగ్గ మనిషి. అది చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది. మేమందరము ఆయన డ్రీమ్ను రియలైజ్ చేయడానికి, దేశానికి, హ్యుమానిటీకి హెల్ప్ చేయడానికి మా వంతు ప్రయత్నం చేస్తాము. టు ఎరాడికేట్ ద ప్రివెంటబుల్ బ్లైండ్నెస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియా. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్. ఆచార్యజీ, శేషుజీ, బాలా గారు, గిరీష్ రావు గారు, థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ గివింగ్ ద ఆపర్చునిటీ టు సర్వ్ దిస్ నోబుల్ కాజ్ త్రూ శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మూర్తి గారు. తర్వాత మా సెక్రటరీ కృష్ణరాజ్ భట్ ఫ్రమ్ రాక్విల్, మేరీల్యాండ్. కృష్ణరాజ్ జీ.
Namaste to all. I met Dr. Badrinath sometime in the year 2002. He was like a saint. When I could feel that he is such a great soul, right? And he was so humble. He talked so nicely. Even though I know that time I made a small contribution, and he thanked me profusely. That shows how humble he is. In every speech, we talk about how 1/3 of the world's blind people are in India, right? And Dr. Badrinath and his wife, Vasanthi Badrinath, they had a great career in the USA. They could have lived here, they could have made lots of money, but they went back in the 1970s. It was those days, how difficult it was to start a new hospital and set up everything. He withstood all those problems and built a great institution. So he served millions, right, free of cost, eye surgery, and he trained so many doctors. And I am so fortunate to have worked as a volunteer in this organization. And I pray to God, and I'm sure he's a blessed soul, and he will be in our in thoughts and prayers always.
Next, Giant Treasurer, Soma Jagdish, Giant from Seattle, Washington. Soma.
నేను ఉదయం మొదటిసారిగా విషయం తెలిసినప్పుడు నేను చూసాను అసలు సార్ ఇలాగే జరిగింది సంఘటన అంతా చూస్తుంటే. So we are talking with multiple people like what happened, and we are like sharing the details. Today is the first time I opened my social media. Bala Garu knows that usually I'm very far to social media. So when I see Prime Minister is actually giving a condolence on a person, that tells how great he is and how noble he is. I'm really privileged to even talk about this. It's a great opportunity, Bala Garu and Acharya Garu, for giving me to talk about a person, and I really feel very emotional because talking about someone who know is very important, but talking about a person who is actually at nationwide, we are seeing the way the Twitter is like getting a lot of the condolences and all the information. It's more than I'm very emotional. And then also I was looking at is about history, and then the way Girish Rao Garu explained and Acharya Garu explained. I'm trying to understand more about him, and then every minute I understand. I'm feeling so privileged that I got an opportunity at an early stage to be part of his mission and the way his ideology has speaking. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to be a living legend forever. And then I'm going to be very thankful for the giving opportunity here. And the main important thing, the way the people have explained and the people have shared, mainly Girish Rao Garu and Acharya, as he mentioned, right? How down to earth he is and what is his noble ideology. So people like me, definitely it's a very inspiration for me. And I have very less words to say because I'm still reading. I'm reading from morning. I was talking to a few friends in Microsoft. I'm explaining. I shared this in Microsoft community with all the, even in the company as well. I'm so privileged for this one. And I would only say that he is not going to go anywhere because we all are together going to take his vision and his ideology into the, what you call, I don't know, like exact word, but I'll say he's going to live with us. It's the vision we are taking forward. So he's not going anywhere. I'm pretty confident that his vision will live with him, and then we are all the carrier for that. And I'm pretty sure that as long as I'm having the ability to support and service, I'm going to be part of Shankar Nethralaya, and I'll continue supporting his cause and his his vision also. Thank you, Acharya Garu and Bala Garu, giving opportunity, and thanks Badrinath Garu for starting this whole mission. But the amount of condolence, I'm not able to speak, but I am very emotional. I saw a Prime Minister is telling, that itself tells him that it's a great privilege for me. And once again, I'll not take much time because there are a lot of people. Thank you once again. Hey Handu.
Thank you so much. తర్వాత మా అట్లాంటా నుండి సీనియర్ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీ శ్రీనిరెడ్డి వంగిమల్ల. తను నేను ప్రెసిడెంట్ అయినప్పుడు ట్రస్టీగా జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. ఈస్ డూయింగ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీస్. శ్రీని.
Hello everyone. It's a really sad day today to know that Dr. Badrinath is no longer with us. What he has created really it's a very inspiration for us. And during my short period with compared to the other trustees involved with the Shankar Nethralaya, so I have built a tremendous respect for his vision, for what he started to help the needy people, and executing and making sure that the quality services are provided across India for the indigenous patients that have no way access to the quality health care, especially when he started back in 1978. There is no specialized hospitals for ophthalmology subspecialty, and having the vision, creating the institution, creating the research facilities, and bringing this cutting edge medical research and treatment to the villages. That's really a great vision. So I'm glad to be part of this organization helping, and going forward, I think he will live on through these services, and it is all our obligation to help the institution take it forward and help as much people as possible. With that, I'll take a leave. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, especially Acharya for starting the US organization, and Bala bringing me into this and leading this organization to help Dr. Badrinath vision come to execution and help the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vangi. Next, mana Senior Board of Trustee Shankar Sethi joined from New Jersey.
Good evening, everyone. Today is such a sad day for everyone in Shankar Nethralaya, not only Shankar Nethralaya, the whole country in India and the world. What I can say was our leaders explained everything about Dr. Badrinath, particularly Acharya. Thank you so much for starting this organization in America. Bala, I don't have words to thank you for giving this opportunity for all of us to be part of this great organization. And we definitely will do everything what Dr. Badrinath dreamed of, or what his vision is. We all should do whatever we can do little by little. And definitely, as every one of you said, it's a very sad day for all of us, but this is what life is all about. And we will always be grateful to Dr. Badrinath, who started off this great organization, which gave light to so many blind people, millions of blind people. And we have this opportunity to do more than that. And I would definitely thank both of you, Acharya and Balaji, for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Shankarji. Okay, Tarvata, next Board of Trustee from Atlanta, Neelima Gaddamanugu. She's been doing a lot of service to Shankar Nethralaya. Recently, we have organized one program, Anand Leela, and we raised 11,000 cataract surgeries, and credit to Neelima and all her Nataraj Natyanjali team. Neelima, say a few words.
Namaste, everyone. Great visionary who gave vision to many and also created a wonderful path for all of us and future generations to serve the same, and a great inspiration to many. I thought of meeting him in my next India visit. I was about to tell Bala because I heard a lot about him. So I really miss meeting him in person, and it's a very sad thing to happen. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Another Board of Trustee joined from Seattle, Washington, Vinod Parna. Vinod?
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. నేను ఫస్ట్ 5 years బ్యాక్ డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారి గురించి తెలుసుకున్నాను. శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో చేరేటప్పుడు సోమ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ గురించి చదువుతూ బాలా గారు బద్రీనాథ్ గురించి చదువుతున్నప్పుడు I felt so much inspirational inside my heart. How a particular reason ఆయన ఎంతలా లైఫ్ ని డెడికేట్ చేశారు ఫర్ ద సొసైటీ అనే దాని గురించి. He inspired a lot, and I'm definitely sure he's a blessed soul. And wherever he is, we are all here as a trustees for the Shankar Nethralaya to take his vision to the next. And I always feel that he will be with us in his guidance provided to all of us. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity, Bala Garu and Acharya Garu, Murthy Garu, and Soma, for giving me this opportunity to join this organization and help and to know about the great leaders, how they envision and then give their life for this society. Thank you so much. And I do agree, this is a sad day for Shankar Nethralaya and for us. But we take his words, his vision to the next level. Thank you.
Okay, next I request our Bay Area, California Board of Trustee, Ram Kumar Edavalli. Ram Kumar, please go ahead.
It's ఈరోజు చాలా 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 బాధాకరమైన దినం. ఆయన పోవడం అనేది ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు టేక్ ఇట్. బద్రీనాథ్ గారి పేరు గురించి మాట్లాడితే బే ఏరియాలో చాలా మందికి తెలుసు. సో ఎప్పుడు బయటకు వెళ్ళి మాట్లాడినా కూడా ఆయన గురించి చాలా మందికి ఇక్కడ ఉన్న పాత 20 ఏళ్ళు వెనకాల ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ బాగా తెలుసు అనమాట. ఆయన పోయారని చెప్పగానే ఇట్ వాజ్ సో సాడ్ ఫర్ మీ. I'm new to the organization కి, బట్ ఈ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఇంత పైకి వెళ్ళింది అంటే కారణం ఆయనే అని గుర్తింపు మనకందరికీను. చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది ఆర్గనైజేషన్ వర్క్ చేయడానికి. కానీ ఆయన ఈరోజు పోవడం అనేది, మన దగ్గర నుంచి పోవడం అనేది ఒక రకమైన బాధాకరమైన విషయం. కండోలెన్సెస్ టు హిస్ ఫ్యామిలీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
తర్వాత మా బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీ నారాయణ ఇందుర్తి ఫ్రమ్ హ్యూస్టన్, టెక్సస్. రీసెంట్ గా హ్యూస్టన్ లో 2 ఈవెంట్స్ జరిగాయి. June 4th ఎస్పీబీ బర్త్డే రోజు నారాయణ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేసి he raised $50,000, and later Leela Krishnamurthy garu another program she did with PS3 Tamil drama, comedy drama. She raised again another 50. So Houston is doing great with these two, like our leader Leelaji and trustee Narayan. Narayan, say a few words.
Sure. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ఈరోజు ఈ సంస్థ శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ సంస్థ వ్యవస్థాపకులు డాక్టర్ ఎస్ఎస్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారు పరమపదించడం ఎంతో విచారకరమైన దినం. సో ముఖ్యంగా ఇలాంటి వారిని కారణ జన్ములుగా మనం వ్యవహరిస్తూ ఉంటాము. కారణ జన్ములు అనొచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు ఒక కారణం కోసమే పుట్టినట్టు ఎంతో నిబద్ధతతో ఎన్నో సంవత్సరాలుగా ఈ సంస్థను స్థాపించి ఎంతో సేవ చేస్తూ సమాజ సేవనే తన ధ్యేయంగా తీసుకొని ముందుకెళ్తూ ఎంతో మంది తమ జీవితాన్ని అంధకారంలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ వెలుగులు నింపి ఈరోజు ఇలా వెళ్ళిపోవడము మనకు బాధాకరము. కానీ ఆయన ఆశయాన్ని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లాల్సిన బాధ్యత మనందరి మీద ఉంది. కాబట్టి మనందరము ఆయన ఆశయానికి కృషి చేయాలి. సో ఇందులో ఈ సంస్థ, ఇంత మంచి సంస్థకు మమ్మల్ని భాగస్వాములు చేసిన బాలా అన్న, అలాగే ఆచార్యజీ గిరీష్ రావు గారు, అలాగే మూర్తి రేఖపల్లి గారు, మీ అందరికి కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతూ, అట్లాగే వారు ఎక్కడున్నా వారి పవిత్ర ఆత్మకు శాంతి చేకూరాలని, అలాగే వారి ఆశీస్సులు మన మీద ఉండి ఈ సంస్థను ఇట్లే ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లడానికి మన వంతు మనం కృషి చేయాలని కోరుకుంటూ శ్రద్ధాంజలి. ఓం శాంతి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ నారాయణ్. అండ్ ఈరోజు మరొక శంకర్ నేత్రాలయ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రస్టీ వంశీ కృష్ణ ఇరువారం. He joined from Phoenix, Arizona. Vamsi, please go ahead and say a few words about Dr. Badrinath.
Yep. డాక్టర్ బద్రీనాథ్ గారి ఆశయం, ఆయన యొక్క ఈ విధంగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి కళ్ళు లేని వాళ్ళకి కళ్ళు ఇవ్వాలనే తన ఆశయం ప్రతిరూపంగా శంకర్ నేత్రాలయాన్ని నిర్మించి ఎంతో మందికి తను సేవ అందించారు. అటువంటి ఆయనకి మంచి జరగాలని చెప్పి, ఆయన ఆత్మకు శాంతి చేకూరాలని చెప్పి ప్రార్థిస్తూ ఆ భగవంతుని ప్రార్థిస్తున్నాను.
ఈరోజు అట్లాంటా నుంచి డాక్టర్ మాధురి నముడూరి బద్రీనాథ్ గారి గురించి మాట్లాడతారు.
Namaste everyone. It is very saddening to know the demise of Shankar Nethralaya founder Dr. S.S. Badrinath ji, a visionary who has helped millions gain vision. As we know, Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. He will live through the legacy of his charitable works that he has done and motivated thousands to follow his path. I'm very humbled and glad to be part of Shankar Nethralaya USA, and hope we can learn from his experience and help as much as we can. Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాధురి గారు. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్. చివరగా చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, ఈరోజు సోషల్ మీడియాలో ఎక్కడ చూసినా కూడా నార్మల్గా ఈ ఇన్సిడెంట్ తెలిసే వరకు టోటల్ ఇండియాలో జరుగుతున్న ఎలక్షన్స్ గురించో, లేకపోతే హార్ట్ బ్రేకింగ్ ఇండియా లూజింగ్ వరల్డ్ కప్ ఫైనల్స్, ఇలాంటి న్యూస్తో సోషల్ మీడియా వాజ్ సో బిజీ. The minute we got this news, I see everybody started tweeting. I saw almost every leader, every celebrity is paying their tributes to Dr. S.S. Badrinath. That means a lot to our organization. ఇందాక నారాయణ చెప్పినట్టు తప్పకుండా బద్రీనాథ్ గారు ఒక కారణ జన్మలు. అలాంటి వారు 100కో కోటికో ఒకరు పుడుతూ ఉంటారు. ఎందుకంటే ఈ మంచి చేద్దామని ఎంతో మందికి ఉంటుంది. అందులో కొంతమంది మాత్రమే దాన్ని ఒక ఆచరణలోకి తీసుకొస్తారు. తర్వాత వాళ్ళు కూడా ఏదో ఒక టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏదో ఒక రీజన్ కి ది మూవ్ ఆన్. బట్ బిగినింగ్ టు ఎండ్ దాన్నే పట్టుకొని ఆశయ సాధనలోనే తన జీవితాన్ని త్యాగం చేసి ఒక మన బద్రీనాథ్ గారు నిజంగా తను ఫిజికల్ గా మనతో లేకున్నా కూడా తను మనందరి చేసే సేవలో ఎప్పుడు మనతోనే ఉంటారు. అందుకని బద్రీనాథ్ గారికి మనం ఈ రోజు చేసే ట్రిబ్యూట్ కన్నా మనం చేసే సర్వీస్ ఆయనకు ఫర్ ఎవర్ ఒక ట్రిబ్యూట్ గా ఉంటుందని నేను భావిస్తున్నాను. థ్యాంక్స్ టు ఎవ్రీవన్ ఫర్ జాయినింగ్.